Is running in, they're knocking down this doctor's door. You know, I think a lot of doctors out there need to be cautious and need to be wary because it could be their doors getting knocked down next.
And I can't tell you, Adam, how many people I've gotten emails from today who said, how come this doctor is getting it, but the doctor who is basically prescribing jugs of drugs and morphine to Nicole apparently doesn't have any problem whatsoever. But anyway, never dull, I guess. Anyway, panel, if you'll stand by, we've got to take a quick break. And coming up, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Remember Judge Larry Seidlin from the Nicole Smith case? Now Judge Larry Seidlin may have bigger problems than feuding parties in a courtroom over a body. He may be facing a criminal investigation. Now, according to a Florida newspaper, Seidlin has been accused of accepting lash gifts from one of his neighbors, including $35,000 towards his 6-year-old's school tuition. Florida defense attorney Lawrence Roberts is making some scandalous claims, too. He says that Seidlin extorted from him expensive gifts, including a $1,000 Louis Vuitton purse for his wife's birthday. In exchange, he got favorable rulings and case assignments. Joining us live is Larry Seidlin's attorney, Ed Shohat. Ed, let's talk about each one of these allegations against your client, the judge, and let's, of course, underline their allegations. We don't have proof beyond a reasonable doubt. How about this $35,000? We
don't have proof, period.
All right, good, fair enough. $35,000 for a child's tuition. What do you know about that?
What I know about that is that the Seidlin family has a friend in their condominium who loves them, and they love the friend who had absolutely no business with the court, period, end of story. This is not a matter that has anything to do with Judge Seidlin's term as a judge in Broward County. He spent 28 years on the bench giving to that county, and it's really unfair that they're dragging him and this woman in his condominium who's like his mother through the coals, and it has nothing whatsoever to do with his time on the bench.
But just as an aside, was it a gift or a loan? I mean, I take it that there was an exchange, that there was some money. Is it a gift or a loan?
Well, let's look at it this way, Greta. We're not going to respond at this point to the specific allegations that are made and go through every single fact. I just want to make it very clear to everybody on your program. I'm sorry?
That's the only fair thing to do, is to answer every single one of these.
I am answering, Greta, if you let me finish. Judge Seidlin did absolutely nothing improper with respect to either this woman or Chris Roberts. Zero. Right. And when the facts come out, that's what the facts are going to show. Any money that changed between Judge Seidlin or any member of Judge Seidlin's family and this woman is absolutely legitimate, 100%, and has nothing to do with his time on the bench.
All right, let's talk about this purse. Was there an attempt to have some lawyer buy a purse for his wife for $1,000?
Not by Judge Seidlin. There was no such attempt. And the evidence is going to show, because we can prove there was no such attempt by Judge Seidlin. But as I say, we're going to do that through the normal processes by cooperating with the investigation. If an investigation actually gets underway, we're going to cooperate with that investigation, and we're going to prove to the investigators that Larry Seidlin did not solicit from Chris Roberts or anything else a Louis Vuitton purse or any favor in exchange for cases.
As an aside, the Chris Roberts who is making this allegation against the judge, he himself was once a judge?
Once a judge. One has to look very carefully at the only accuser here. And I think once those facts come out, you're going to see he was removed from the bench for misconduct. I believe he was suspended by the bar for misconduct. And what you have is a situation where a judge is trying to help him out. And you know, Greta, no good deed goes unpunished. He's turning on the judge at this point, probably because Larry is moving on in his career, has left the bench for reasons unrelated to any of these facts, and is moving on in his career. And it seems that Chris Roberts is extremely bitter at this point for some reason.
And I should point out a little piece of information. In 1981, this judge resigned. He had a DUI arrest that included accusations that he held another suspected traffic violator at gunpoint. So there's a little bit more to that.
I respectfully suggest, Greta, you're 100% correct, and his credibility is zero.
All right, Ed, well, we'll continue to follow this. Hope you come back, and next time bring the judge. We've been trying to get him.
See you, Greta. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yep. Let's bring back the legal panel. Adam, let's start with you. You practice down in that neck of the woods. What do you think of these? They are allegations. They are not proof at all.
Well, you know, Greta, I've never heard anything about the judge ever soliciting bribes or gifts or anything like that. When I read the article, I was surprised and shocked as anybody else. I find it very difficult, to believe that Judge Seidlin was accepting gifts and then giving people favorable rulings.